Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Revealing the Narc, and on this channel we dive deep into the intriguing world of narcissism. I'll often use public figures as examples to illustrate how these behaviors can manifest in real life. If this sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe. I should mention, everything I say is in my opinion, and any theories or hypotheticals that are mentioned, these are all allegedly. I want to clarify that I am not a therapist and the content shared on this channel is not intended as professional advice. I just seek to talk about my experiences and encourage discussion. So let's get into this video. This article was published on October 16th. It's called Marked Choice, in quotations, Diva Meghan Markle didn't like what she saw or her wings being clipped, claims Jenny Bond on Kate Middleton feud. We already see where this is going when they refer to Princess Catherine as Kate. And the print at the bottom says this comes as Meghan is focusing on some new solo ventures. Meghan Markle has been branded a diva who didn't like her wings being clipped, according to esteemed royal commentator Jenny Bond. The former BBC royal correspondent insisted that the Duchess of Sussex could have been an asset for the royal family, but she wasn't happy during her time there. Okay, she could have been an asset to the royal family if she was a team player, if she was willing to submit to the hierarchy, which is a key point in the tradition of the monarchy, and if she were to participate in all sorts of events equally. She preferred glamorous events, and she did not, allegedly, and she did not prefer to do the more mundane, I guess, tasks. And someone who is like that is already demonstrating they're not a team player, because someone has to complete those other tasks, right? And when you are saying, I don't want to do those things, that means you're not a team player because you're forcing other people into having to do those things. Speaking to Bella, Jenny claimed Meghan could have been such a credit to the royal family. She is an independent, forthright woman with her own career, her own thoughts, her own charities and causes. She could have been exactly what a modern monarchy needs. I think the monarchy didn't act as carefully as they should have done. I think the monarchy was walking on eggshells with this woman. I think the monarchy did the best that they could. I just talked about this in another video of all of the things that the Queen tried to offer Meghan that would keep her interested, giving her the patronage to the National Theatre because she assumed Meghan would enjoy doing that, giving her the option to continue working. But let's be real, she didn't want to work. That's the issue. Let's think of an analogy here. Let's say someone's been hired into a new role at a company, and they walk in through the door, and they're walking in as like a middle range employee. And they tell everybody that we are going to change, we are going to modernize every system that we're using here. We are done with the system now. It's old and it's outdated, and I know how to run things better. And she's a mid-range employee. And then she says, her boss comes to her and says, there's this task we need you to do. And she says, no, I don't want to do that task. I want to do this other task. Let someone else do the task I don't want to do. This is incredibly unprofessional. So from a professional perspective, it's not a nice thing to do. And from a familial perspective, it's also not a nice thing to do. Meghan was never a team player. She wasn't a team player before. And an example just came to me. Whenever she talks about Suits, she calls it my show. My show. She was 6th on the call list. How is it your show? It's all of your show. But again, like I said, she's not a team player. There are so many examples of that. But Meghan is by all accounts a bit of a diva. She didn't like what she saw, and she didn't like her wings being clipped. This comes as Meghan and Princess Catherine have both returned to the public eye in separate continents. Okay, they said it themselves. She's a diva, and she doesn't like her wings being clipped. Translation: she wants what she wants, and she doesn't care what other people think. She wants what she wants, and if you don't give her the opportunity that she wants, you're clipping her wings. It's incredibly selfish, it's juvenile, and we all have responsibilities that we don't enjoy doing them. But sometimes we gotta do them. That is what happens when you're a responsible adult and you work as part of a team. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we all knew this. We all knew that she is an incredibly selfish person. The Princess of Wales has undergone 2 recent official visits following her announcement that she has finished her chemotherapy treatment. The first was meeting cancer-stricken 16-year-old Liz Hatton, and the second was sitting down with victims of the Southport attack. So I noticed that now they're calling her Princess of Wales. Appropriate. I admire it. And I just wonder, have you all seen the interactions that Princess Catherine had this week? I think, you know what, I'm going to put a snapshot of them really quick. Princess Catherine is appropriately dressed, shows genuine affection. She's not in the middle of the pictures. Appropriate PDA with her husband. Look at that genuine care on her face. And dressed so elegantly. Okay, let's continue the article. Meanwhile, we saw the Duchess of Sussex looking glamorous in a recycled red dress on the red carpet at the LA Children's Hospital Gala earlier this month. The swanky appearance was Meghan's first solo venture in months. I actually don't remember the last time she had a solo adventure. And I wouldn't call the way she looked glamorous. And just to show a comparison, I will put one picture of Meghan from that event. I don't have to tell you. You can make the comparison on your own. Jenny added, Catherine and Meghan are indeed 2 very different women and are now on very different paths. Clearly. Everything Catherine does is to help others, the disadvantaged, the young, and now those suffering from cancer. You see that? So everything Catherine does is to help others. It's that clear. Even this person who is biased against Princess Catherine said that. And I say she's biased against her because the article seems to be leaning towards favoritism towards Meghan. The article continues, it's not for money or fame or self-aggrandizement. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong. It is to help people who are in trouble or difficulty and to do good. I'm not even going to say it. Just read in between the lines. They're comparing Princess Catherine and Meghan, and look how they described Princess Catherine. The royal expert claimed Meghan is also using her star power oh my goodness, to draw attention to good causes, but said she is very active in the commercial world and is also pursuing financial ventures to support their new life in California. Okay, star power, false. She doesn't have star power. Anyone that associates her gets markled. There's literally a verb for the falling apart of your business when you're associated with her. And also, I don't know how much I would talk about her being active in the commercial world. She's floundering in the commercial world. I don't know. The article continues. Although the two women both married into the royal family, they appear to be on very different paths. With Kate focusing on, oh, they said Kate, with Princess Catherine focusing on the future of the monarchy, now doctors have given her the all clear to phase back into work. Meanwhile, Meghan's upcoming ventures include a Netflix cooking show about friendship and her lifestyle brand, American Orchard Riviera. Okay, so we know that there were some problems with American Orchard Riviera and the patents and all of that. And a Netflix cooking show about friendship? She doesn't have any friends. If she wants to make a Netflix cooking show about friendship, everything should burn. Oh, I crack myself up because all her friendships, she's burned all her bridges. Oh my, or it could be they're all on fire. They're all on fire and they're burning. That's what the Netflix cooking show will be about if it's about her and her friendships. The royal wives have had a number of alleged moments of tension over the years, including Meghan telling Oprah Winfrey Catherine made her cry just days before the wedding. We know that's not what happened. Meanwhile, Prince Harry recalled in his bombshell memoir, Spare, that the women had a bust-up after Meghan made a comment about Princess Catherine's hormones. During an interview with The Cut, Meghan was asked if she thought there was hope of a reconciliation between her and the rest of the royal family. Okay, before we go there, what happened between Princess Catherine and Meghan was horrible. And now everything I'm going to say is allegedly because this is just information I've gathered from everything I've been reading. Meghan was very cruel to Princess Charlotte, made very bad remarks to her, compared her unfavorably to another bridesmaid, did not allow that young child to wear stockings with uncomfortable shoes, so she was in pain throughout the ceremony. And then Meghan was also nasty to the staff. So Catherine approached Meghan and said, it's inappropriate. You can't treat people that way. And look at how sweet Catherine's heart is that she ends up moved to tears because of this conversation, because she cares so much about the people that they interact with every single day. And then after that, Catherine, in her beautiful heart of hearts, took flowers to Meghan to try to smooth everything over. And Meghan threw the flowers in the trash and slammed the door in her face. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness, what an awful, awful woman she is. Sometimes I forget. And then I think about these stories or I remember them and it's like, she really is a cruel person. She really, really is. The article continues. Meghan said, I think forgiveness is really important. It takes a lot more energy to not forgive, but it takes a lot of effort to forgive. I've really made an active effort, especially knowing that I can say anything. Oh, that sounds like a threat, doesn't it? It does to me. Leave me a note in the comments and let me know what you think. And finally, the article ends with, I have a lot to say until I don't. Do you like that? Sometimes, as they say, the silent part is still part of the song. I don't know. This sounds a little threatening to me. It does. Do you guys feel that too? And then imagine being this horrible to someone and being this horrible to their child and expecting them to apologize to you. It's unbelievable. And it reminds me, okay, I'm going to get into my personal experience now and my malignant narcissist stepmom. So I've mentioned to you all that I'm adopted, and my dad, when I talk about my dad, that's my adopted dad. He divorced my adopted mom and he married this malignant narcissist woman. This woman from day one did not like me. I think I was maybe 10 when I met her. And because I wasn't blood, I mean, what I'm about to tell you guys is really, really sick. She implied that there's an unnatural relationship with me and my father because there's no other way my father could love me. And I'm not going to go into anything deeper than that, okay? And I am just scratching the surface on the things that this woman did to me as a child. Fast forward 30 years. My dad gets diagnosed with cancer. And during those 30 years, my dad would not really see me physically. Most of our relationship was on the phone, and he was a great dad. He did the best he could with what he had, but this woman prevented him from seeing me. So my dad gets diagnosed with cancer, and I know the only thing that I can do to be able to spend more time with my dad during the last few years of his life, I have to make up with this woman that was so awful to me. So I apologized. Can you believe it? I apologized, but there was a purpose in it. And for me, in that moment, it was much more important to me to spend as much time with my dad as possible, knowing who I'm dealing with in his wife, than to not. And I mean, not everybody would make a choice like that, but that's the choice that I made. And I should tell you, my stepmom, she said that during all of those years my dad had cancer, it was like 4 years. And actually, when he went in, they told him he only had a couple of days to live. So it was a miracle that we got 4 years. We honestly thought it was going to be days. And then it turned into, it could be a year. And we were very, very blessed to get 4 years. During that time, my stepmom said to me that the only time that my dad laughs, the only person that my dad laughs with is me. So she also knew to promote longevity of his life, she had to make sure that I was in the picture, because he could not fight with her the way he used to 20 years ago. He had to be in a happy place, and he had to be in that happy place. And I was able to give that to my dad during those final years. And I also had, I don't remember if I talked about this, but during those 4 years, my subconscious really pushed down all the negative things that my stepmom had done to me. And it had to happen. That had to happen, because how do you sit in front of your abuser and pretend like nothing happened? You literally have to forget that it happened. And then after my father passed away, and that was some horrific things that she did at the end, but it's like instantly the memories came back. And it was around this time period that I was able to figure out that she's a malignant narcissist, because now that I had all the memories, I was talking to my cousin, and my cousin was like, she's a malignant narcissist. And I looked it up, and I actually, I got really, really mad, because the family protected her. The family protected her, but she really was a sick person. I mean, I think she's still alive. She really is a sick person, but everybody defended her. And the crazy thing is, they defended the behavior that she exhibited to a child. And I know that I'm not alone in this. I know that so many families, they cover for the abuser. And it's so invalidating to the child. It's really, really awful. Anyways, I'm so sorry that I got into this like sad place, but I think ultimately I want to share parts of my story through Meghan Markle because I see so much of my stepmom in her. And I also hope that I'm able to form some connections with all of you. Like if any of my story resonates with you or if it brings up something in you, I feel like I've come a long way on my journey, and I would love to be a supporting light for other people just by talking about my story, because I am not a therapist. I have not studied psychology. I have just learned all of my experience is from being around so many narcissists for like my whole life, honestly. Okay, let's continue the article. So there was this like little piece at the bottom of the article. It's titled Meghan Markle's Jarring First Meeting with Princess Catherine. Meghan and Catherine are said to have had a rather fractious relationship, and the American actress revealed what happened on their first meeting. We don't trust, as she would say in quotations, her truth. We don't trust her perspective. So let's see how she's going to lie about this. After announcing their engagement, Meghan and Harry gave an interview to the BBC's Michelle Hussein, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, from their home, Nottingham Cottage, on the grounds of Kensington Palace. During the interview, Meghan praised the royal family, the Queen, and her future sister-in-law, Princess Catherine, for all being so welcoming. However, Meghan claimed there was a difference between how formal she and Catherine were behind closed doors. In her Netflix documentary, Harry and Meghan, the Duchess said, "Even when Will and Catherine came over and I was meeting her for the first time, I remember I was in ripped jeans. I was barefoot, like I was a hugger. I've always been a hugger. I didn't realize that is really jarring for a lot of Brits." Girl, it's not. You're meeting your in-laws for the first time. Why would you be barefoot and in ripped jeans? I mean, if I was with someone and I was dating someone and I was going to meet my future in-laws, believe me, I would not be wearing ripped jeans and I would not be barefoot. And I don't think I would hug them either. And I'm an American. This whole Meghan and her hugging thing, this is a physical incarnation, I would say, of her lack of boundaries. She doesn't respect people's physical boundaries, and she hugs people like that. You need to wait to make sure that someone feels comfortable hugging you. There is nothing wrong with not wanting to hug someone. And actually, this reminds me, like, I think children nowadays are told, if you don't want to hug someone, don't hug them. Right? If it doesn't make you comfortable, because that is a wrong way to grow up. Feeling like you have to hug someone that maybe has done something bad to you, but there's this pressure on you to do it, right? And children, especially with children, when sometimes they can't verbalize if something bad has happened to them, and then they're forced to hug this person, right? So it's just a lack of boundaries. And if I was Princess Catherine, I would be kind of weirded out too. Like, where are your shoes, girl? Did you move in here already? Like, come on. Fix yourself up. And then on top of it, it's not like, you're just meeting, I don't know, Frank and Frank and Ethel, from next door, referencing I Love Lucy. I think those were their names, right? I could be totally wrong. Or Fred and Ethel. You're not meeting the random people next door. This is the future heir to the throne and his wife. Oh my gosh. I mean, at that point, did she still not know who the royal family was? Had she done her research yet at that point? Oh my goodness. It's too much. This woman is too much. Okay, I also want to talk about her intention behind these statements and how I believe they're actually perceived. So, that first part, showing up in ripped jeans and was barefoot, she's trying to look relatable. She wants to be like, I'm just the girl next door. I treat everybody the same. I am so down to earth. I am not a diva. I walk around in ripped jeans when I meet royalty. And that last part, doesn't she realize by saying that it's jarring for a lot of Brits to hug people that she could be turning off the country she's living in? The country who her family is royalty, well, her future family is royalty of, and she's living on the ground and using all the benefits that come along with that. It's a total lack of appreciation and a total lack of insight. Life is a game of chess, you guys. You can't just think one move ahead because the one move you make is going to have a consequence. You need to look beyond that. So when you make a statement like that, oh, it's jarring for a lot of Brits, what does that mean? What you're essentially saying is they're cold people. They don't hug people. Well, doesn't that look bad for you now? Why would you say that? I don't know. That's my opinion. You guys, this video is getting a lot longer than I thought it would. But I hope you all enjoy it. I'm enjoying talking about it. I can go off forever on this stuff. That's why a live will be so awesome, because you guys can join in on the conversation and it's not just like one-sided. Even though when you leave comments, I really love interacting with all of you in those comments. Okay, we can finish this off now. So the article continues. I started to understand that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside, that there is a forward-facing way of being, and then you close the door and think, okay, we can relax now. But that formality carries over on both sides, and that was surprising to me. I mean, what is that saying? You bite the hand that feeds you? Meghan, this was your way. This was your way to becoming such a philanthropist and empowering women. You had it right in front. It was within your reach. You ruined it, Meghan. All of those things that you've talked about that you want to do and you want to be, it was all right there for you. And you threw it all away. Stupidly. You don't know how to strategize. You don't know how to play a game of chess. You don't think before you do moves. You don't think what the consequences of your moves are. You know, when you speak, all of us in general, think about how a person would react once you say those words. Because you can't take the words back. And it could have a bad reaction. I don't know. Maybe I just, I plan ahead. And I think, well, not that we're supposed to. I mean, people can do whatever they want to do, you know. But I feel like in order to be successful, you have to think about what consequences your words and actions will have on other people. And if you're okay with those consequences, then sure, go ahead and do it. But also strategize. If I say this, what are the ways that they could react? Is that the outcome that I want? There's something that's always said that I really like. It's begin with the end in mind. And this applies to everything, right? Like, begin with the end in mind. Let's say at work I want to complete a project. Well, what I want the project to look like is this, and I want it completed on this date. So you work backwards from that. Same thing in life. If you want to become a homeowner, what do you need to become a homeowner? Okay, I need to see if there are any grants available. I need to see how much down payment I need. I need to look at, that's how it is. So you think of your goal and you work backwards from it. And I think I just went on this complete tangent for no reason. I don't know. I don't know how that connected to anything. This just became one long run-on sentence. Anyways, I hope you like this video. Please leave comments. I'd love to hear about your thoughts on any of the things that were said. Please also like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. This goes a long way for the algorithm to push my video out there. And I'm so glad that you listened to this video, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.